And the battle over Texas congressional district map is now in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court.
On Friday night, the High Court granted the state a temporary victory by pausing a lower court's ruling, which would have required Texas to use the map lawmakers drew in 2021 in the midterm election. The back and forth battle is leaving some congressional candidates in limbo. Joining us now to dive into all of this is KVUE senior reporter Tony Plohetsky. Tony, thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's catch up first on where we are in this court battle right now.
So just to rewind the tape for people who maybe have not been following this as closely, there was that bombshell ruling from a 3-panel court in El Paso late last week. And essentially, they said that the new maps that were drawn over the summer by Texas lawmakers were unconstitutional, that according to them, the maps were drawn based on race, which is illegal. Now, the state quickly fought back and said, no, it was not drawn based on race. It was an example of political gerrymandering. And so the court stepped in, the High Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, on Friday evening and said, at least for now, until this can all be litigated, the 2025 maps that were drawn over the summer to give the GOP those 5 additional seats is what is going to be used in the spring election. But again, there's a long way to go, and this is likely to be litigated in coming days and weeks.
Well, I don't know if there's time for that. Time right now is of the essence, Tony. And I know the deadline for candidates to turn in their paperwork to be on the ballot is in just 2 weeks. So what happens now?
December 8th. And to the point that we were making earlier, this has caused a degree of limbo among some of the candidates. For example, right here in the Austin area, Congressman Lloyd Doggett said that he was not going to seek re-election after decades in office. But now, after that court ruling last week that said the 2021 maps had to be drawn, he said he's back in the race. And so not only is there limbo for people who are potentially seeking office, there's also limbo from voters. And what experts say, political scientists and other experts say, is that they fear that this could undermine the credibility of the whole elections process.
Right. Really, really important stuff. And so not only the election process here in Texas, Tony, but Texas started what some have described as an arms race, if you will, to redraw maps ahead of the midterm to ensure whichever party would get a majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. What's happening here in Texas and with the Supreme Court? How could this impact all of those other states that are in the midst of redrawing their maps?
And that's why what happened over the summer got so much attention nationally. What we know from talking to experts who closely follow the Supreme Court is that the Supreme Court has largely tried to stay away from political gerrymandering issues. But now that this is being framed by the court last week as much more than that, as an example of racial gerrymandering, there is a thought that the Supreme Court is going to have to wade into this one way or the other. And Ashley, to your point, it's not just Texas. Texas is sort of first in line, but all types of litigation from other states that have engaged in redistricting could possibly make their way to the Supreme Court in coming days and weeks and months as well.
Wow.
There's a lot at stake.
It's a lot at stake. It's a lot to watch, and so important. We know Texas has had rulings against its maps time after time again. And so very interesting to see this happening now where the Supreme Court stepping in on this particular case.
Exactly. And when and how quickly they will take it up is, of course, an open question as we stand here now.
Yeah. All right. Tony Plohetsky, senior reporter for KVUE, thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.